Hi YouTube, Big Apple again here today. I've been experimenting lately with doing some videos on certain mindsets and mentalities and stuff that are, it interlocks somewhat with concealed carry. Some of them are real dead on, but this is another one that I wanted to talk about is, about the victim mentality and why it's something you should abandon or should have abandoned a long time ago. So, some Americans think they have a right to be entitled to things they don't deserve, and this way of thinking goes hand in hand with this topic as the question is posed. Who is responsible for your safety? Well, you are. You're responsible for your safety. No one else is. I don't know why anybody else would be responsible for you whenever you are you and they're them, You're responsible for your own safety. So we see the cycle perpetuated a lot, but, I ask that you break the cycle. So the cycle is perpetuated. There's the constant showing of battered women in the media all the time. The president flying around those women that lost children from Sandy Hook. Although they weren't battered women, they're still being victimized. And I say this anytime I try to get a new female into shooting, is that women benefit from concealed carry 1,000 times more than men. They become victims much more often, and it is as politically incorrect as it may be. I mean, that's the truth, So what I tell them is do something about it, rather than let this cycle continue, this victimization. Well, get more independent, strengthen up, and follow what I suggest in this video to break this cycle. Then you also have the constant showing of victims rather than people who overcome adversity. So why do victims get more airtime and recognition, and when is enough enough? This isn't even necessarily related to concealed carry and taking responsibility for your safety, but just in general, you hardly ever hear stories of someone overcoming adversity. You always hear, poor me, please donate to my cause. And while some of those causes may be good, generally, the ones where people overcome just the toughest adversity get a lot less recognition. When they're breaking that victim cycle and they're showing you can do it. They're perpetuating an independence, a personal responsibility, and an obligation to keep yourself true. So I say break the cycle. Take responsibility for your safety. In the grand scheme of things, it's really not that difficult. And like I said in the last video of concealed carry mindset, a lot of it has to do with situational awareness. That's really the most important aspect I can tell you about concealed carry, because you can, for the most part, see situations beginning to unfold and avoid that danger. So law enforcement has no obligation to protect you and your family, and that is proven by law. There was a case, I forget exactly what the name is, who versus who, but basically they don't have a duty to protect individuals, they have a duty to protect the community at large. So then again, if you were in your house and there was a hostage situation, they would come help you, and they would try their best. But you also could have prevented that from the get-go if you make a conscious choice to not become a victim, as I have listed there next. You must make the conscious choice to not become a victim. Danger can find you anywhere. So rather than complaining about being a victim, do something about it. Like I said earlier, do not be oblivious to what's going on around you. And I have referred to concealed carry mindset. That was the same thing I addressed in that video. Unglue your eyes from your cell phone. Watch what's happening around you. I mean, I'm not saying don't ever be on your cell phone in public. Just every now and then look around, pay attention, see what's going on, because a lot of the things you can see way ahead of time. And I have next, buy a firearm. The average gun owner is not a loud, uneducated redneck, and they exist, but they're a minority. And what you'll find is that most normal people, everyday, normal-looking people are gun owners. And you're not going to be seen as one of these, outlandish rednecks that, gun-toting happy redneck. If you go and get one, you're just taking responsibility for your safety. That's it. They exist, and they're a small minority. And I say a firearm trumps all other non-lethal means of protection. Mace, pepper spray, etc., tasers, whatever. And if you prefer to use this as a stepping stone, then do it. I've suggested, a few girls get tasers. I actually bought a few tasers before stepping them up to the big game, because when you do carry, it is a big responsibility, and you can get a little practice in carrying a non-lethal means before you make that step. But and you can also carry both if you wish. But I strongly suggest, if you are going to carry non-lethal means, there's really no reason to not step up to lethal means, because really, in the grand scheme of things, that a firearm trumps all of them. It really does. Get over your fear of firearms, go to a range with an experienced, trusted friend, and you'll find that it's empowering, and more importantly, it's really fun. I've taken a few shooters to the range the first time, and of course you have the typical first range visitor flinching whenever they go in the range. It is a little bit overwhelming at first to hear all those booms around you, even if you do have hearing protection on. It's just something to get used to. Once you're accustomed to it, obviously you're good to go and you're used to it and it doesn't bother you anymore. But to get over this irrational fear, you have to see that it is fun, it is safe, and as long as you practice the safety rules and you have them drilled into your brain, everything will be just fine. You hardly ever hear of deaths at gun ranges, Take instructional courses. There are plenty of defensive handgun courses available. The one that I know about the most is Knoll Attack. They're in New Orleans. I think right now they're in the process of building a range, but they have a really good instructor there, and I would suggest you look into some of their courses. I'll probably take some in the future too. I have watched videos on YouTube, and this is my best resource for information. Obviously, you have to find the best channels that you like for looking at certain aspects of carrying and certain mindsets and whatnot. And you can take some with a grain of salt to make your own opinion. Just absorb the information and see what you want to do with it. You don't necessarily have to, go with it that way. So there are a few channels that I like looking at self-defense stuff from. Like I like Corey and Erica's videos. I like Nut and Fancy's mindset videos. He may go a little overboard sometimes, but I like his concealed carry protocol, his sheepdog concept. He has some in there that are very, very foundational in my opinion. So next, go to the range. You can't go once and become a dead-eye shooter. So you like any other skill, you really do need to practice to stay sharp. But once you get over the initial hurdle of your fear of firearms, go to the range, visit the range, do it, stay sharp. And I have get a concealed carry permit. If you feel empowered and you feel empowered, independent, strong, and safe with a firearm in your home, why contain that empowerment within the confines of your home? Let me see if I get that. Okay. Yeah, why contain that within the confines of your home? It's an added responsibility, but I feel it's worth the burden. The added responsibility of carrying, yeah, it's a lot more to think about, but it really does keep you in check. It changes your mindset a lot, and it really, forces you to really rethink some of the things that you've always done. But hopefully, at least most importantly, it'll increase your situational awareness, because that is the most important thing. And I have, as Jamie Yeer always says, your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends. And that refers to concealed carry. If you do carry pretty often, I say about 90%, make sure you have it on you most of the time. It's your responsibility to provide for your own safety, the safety of your family. And personally, I believe it's your responsibility to protect other good people around you if something bad were to happen. But this is Big Apple. Thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, just post them down. Thanks.